Hey there. Hey, Natu. You think you're mute? You there? Can you hear me? Okay, good. But you are on mute. Is there a way you can unmute yourself so I can hear you as well? Okay, take your time. I think if you get out and come back on, I think there's an option that tells you to come in as muted. Then you can say decline it, okay? Okay. You're back, but muted again. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Can you
All
hear me
right,
now?
now, yeah, much better. Let me
Okay.
turn. All right, how you doing?
Really good,
Happy
thank you.
Sunday
And
to you.
you?
Can you hear me nice and clear?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see here. It's just a recap. Happy Sunday. Just thank you for checking up on me. Just recovering a little bit of high blood pressure, hypertension. I'm taking it easy this today. So I'm in the office just cleaning up stuff. And so let me give you a holler and kind of recap on our conversation and stay with our goal, okay?
Okay.
So what is your availability during the week, Monday to Friday? I can do 1 hour every session with you. I don't want to overwhelm you. We'll go one by one, okay? And we
Okay,
just
no
dance
problem.
inside the conversation and go first. So
No, for
right
me,
now
it's
I'm
depends. You just have to tell me like when exactly, and then I'll be available because I'm here all day long.
okay. Is 8 p.m. too late?
No, it's not. It's
Okay,
perfect.
let's put it on a calendar 8 p.m. If something comes up, we can cancel per day. But for now, let's commit to that. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. And we're gonna be using Zoom session. That way I can screen my screen with you. That way you can see the activity that's happening. Okay.
Okay.
So right now, I've been chasing for funding to cover yourself because I want to make sure that you're okay, you're taken care of, okay?
Okay.
Um, so in business, nothing you gotta learn by earning. Can't learn by doing, right?
Yes.
So I have some of my counterpart. I just lost a huge investment. I think that's probably part of my reason for high blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just waiting for things to settle in, okay?
Yes, sir.
So right now you're open to learning that way we don't lose time, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me share some screen. Let me go back from ground zero from the beginning and then kind of show you our platform. That way you can envision the activity. You do have an email address, like a Gmail address, right?
Yes, I do. I can send it in the chat.
Yeah, please, whenever available. So in the meantime, let me share my screen.
Orange cat, orange cat, wow.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
It's bunch of trucks. It says Exchange USA, right?
Yes.
Is that what you see? Okay. Okay, so pretty much that's our company website. Okay, so whenever you want to have a chance to learn more about service offering, you can freely go there, okay, at your own time and leisure, okay?
Yes.
So I'm gonna give you the foundation of who we are, okay? Uh, one second. So our company Exchange, pretty much we cover, let me go turn this music background so that I can be quiet. So one second. So who we are in a nutshell, we are a strategic consulting company, okay?
Okay.
Strategic consulting means if you go into the title consulting, let me go title consulting with you. That way you understand what we do exactly, okay?
Yes, sir.
Definition of consulting. So you see, basically, it's a consultant. When I say who's a person say they consult. There's different types of consultant, right? There's consultant in every field, right? Medical, manufacturing, consulting, ministry, etc. Right?
Yes.
So by virtue, the definition of consultant is a person who provides expert advice and professionality, right? Meaning that
Yes.
a consultant is expert in the conversation that we're talking about, right? If we're a consultant, let us say I'm a consultant in insurance. First, I would need to be an expert to provide advice and at a level of professionality. Okay.
Okay.
So we don't have a warehouse. We don't build stuff. We don't cook stuff. We don't sell stuff, exchange. We're a service provider, right? And
Yes.
a person is a person provides expert advice. One second. Okay. So we provide expert advice, right? Um, what did I say? The British English hospital doctor or senior rank with a specific field, consultant pediatrician, right? Let's just give you an example, right? A consultant,
Mhm.
like if you say you're a consultant, I think what did you go to school for? From your mom said you went for dentistry, right?
Yes, dentistry.
Okay,
And like for cooking chef.
cooking chef. Okay, good. So like you could have somebody in the field, let's just say a chain of service provider take you as a
Mhm.
consultant to advise and to provide expert advice inside of that domain. You get it?
Yes.
So it is no core physical tangible product, but it's more of like expertise, like managerial, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it says a consultant is a professional who provides advice
And
or
services.
service in an area of specialization. Consulting service generally falls under a domain a professional service as contingent work, etc. Right?
Yes.
So this is more high level of what a consultant is. When I say strategic consultant, let me go back into here. A consultant is a professional who provides advice, mostly advice or service in a specific area of specialization, right? You see the word specialization,
Yes.
provide advice is in a service area, in a specific area of specialization. You can't consult on what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like inside in dentistry, when you onboard a patient, there's a consultation that happens first, right? Of what needs to be done, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So this is that domain. There's okay, you consult with the client or the patient, blah blah blah. Well, let me take your blood pressure, let me do your vital. Do you have any pre-existing condition? Then you provide recommendation to the next service provider, right?
Yes. You're right.
Okay. So what we are that, but I add the word strategic to offset what provide service specific area, right? To offset the word specific area, because we have specialty in so many area. There's no way to put it into a one language, right?
Yes.
So I call it a strategic consultant. I mean, it's based on the business category or business need. Okay.
Yes.
Let me go. I'm trying to go to our website to go to about us more. So these are like our consulting. These are the core area that we consult in, right? This is our
Yes.
company website,
Logistics.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Logistics
Shipper
and
connect.
transportation. So there we pretty much um have access to over 728,000 truck and carrier. Like when you see trucks, different type of truck moving across the US, okay?
Okay.
In every port. So we handle logistics and transportation. We do shipper connect, meaning when companies want to ship things all across the US, we integrate with the logistics department, right? To kind of do shipper connect,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we got carrier connect.
Yeah.
This is likely the same thing. We provide truck insurance, which interact with this, okay? With
Okay.
logistics and transportation. The trucks
Yeah.
need insurance, right?
Yes.
And shippers need access to trucks. You get my point? And we
Um.
provide. We about to say
No.
something?
No, I did
Okay.
not get it. How
We
the shipper connect like as I don't get it. I
shipper
didn't
connect.
get
Yeah,
it.
shipper connect or manufacturers. Shipper connect. We got a customer who's a warehouse who's looking for a truck, right?
Oh,
And
okay,
a truck
okay.
who's looking for a shipper relationship.
Okay.
We
I
are
understand.
trucking companies could be our customers or service provider. Shippers can be our customers or service providers because we have different lines of business. That's why we create an interaction integration between the two. They call it carrier connect. This 1, 2 is inside of logistics, right? They one hand watch each other. 1, 2, 3, right?
Yes.
So insurance, because we provide like truck when a truck is working for us, they pay insurance somewhere else, right? We rather make them our customer to buy insurance from us, okay?
Yeah.
Every truck can pay about $20,000 to $40,000 in insurance for the one truck. So instead of them buying the service somewhere else, they buy it from us and we make an overhead on that. Okay.
Yeah.
There goes the consulting. Consulting, pretty much we could buy that we could do dynamic consulting. I created a product called Hoop and Scoop. I branded this, meaning that hybrid optimization operation plan. Like we teach companies how to optimize their service offerings, right? Scoop and strategic cost optimization plan. If I click on that, it gives you the detail of what we do with that. That's a core product. I think that's what our main product is, right? Hybrid operation optimization program that I created, right? Think of a
Yeah.
basketball, right? You
Yes.
see a basketball, you're gonna shoot the ball, either it's gonna catch the net. There's different ways it's gonna go inside the net, right?
Yeah.
But if you have the right target, you go inside one way or the other, as long as you aim right and then go to the curve. It may be a rim, it could shake all through, it could be all net. You get my point?
Yes, I get it.
So as a consultant, customers is just shooting their problems to us. If they What's your aim, right? Because when you play basketball, you gotta aim, right? Aim so that we can, if they fit into our net, that means we can service it.
Yeah.
So we don't know what the need is. The need could be anything, but we don't want to provide everything because some things that we don't do would fall off the basket. The thing we do would fall inside of the basket and we service it. So what they call a discovery call. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't usually know when I have an appointment with a business owner. I don't usually know what is the need until we have a conversation. And this is what I go through this hybrid operation optimization program. It's more of a consulting, right? Like,
Yeah.
what
So
do
we
you
can
need?
aim
Okay, you
exactly
got
for
a
what
headache?
the client need.
Ex- Yeah, exactly. So that we can target to the client need. So
Okay.
the Hoops corporate expense reduction platform, we offer 11-point expense analysis, aim to identify overcharges and billing errors related to key expense areas such as credit card, merchant. We look at all the expense area of the business, right? Parcel shipping, waste and recycling, property tax, workman compensation, general liability, and commercial auto insurance. So businesses are generally having problem with that. The common problem is businesses are spending too much in insurance. They're spending too much on liability insurance. They're spending too much in workman compensation is another insurance to insure their employees and shipping their product because when they make a product, get it to the customer. They're probably paying too much for that, right? And then processing cards. When you use a credit card or a debit card, there's a charge for that merchant account charge, right? So
Yeah.
we optimize all these areas to bring them savings, okay? And that when we find a big gap, then we go into the bigger work. You get my point?
Yes, I get it.
We provide service in all these areas, but we don't know what they want until we do a what they call a hybrid operation optimization program. We take them through that and then find what they need because they sometimes we don't know what they need. Sometimes they call us from one thing. It depends. End up being something else. Okay,
Yes.
it's like you having a house and you have a light bulb that's keep blowing out, right? And you think it's just a light bulb, but the electrician come out. If he's just electrician, he's just gonna replace the bulb or run an electrical line. But I mean that so he gets treated the problem, it doesn't solve the problem, right? You
Exactly.
can have a fire after, but what we do is we go through the whole house, look at for the root cause, and then say, hey, listen, you don't have electrical problem, but you have maybe having something in your roof or something, you know?
Hmm.
Let's focus on the roof so that we can solve it once and for all. Any questions?
No, not for now.
Okay. And and here explain all the different you see that I talk about what we offer 11-point expense analysis. We talk about what we do in workman's comp premium recovery. Some companies pay over more on insurance for workman's comp. We audit that and bring them back a refund. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's just details on the different we have saved our client an average of 3K to 50K annually um per client, right? So our
Yes.
audits, we save them 80% of the businesses that we deal with tend to be paying more in audits than ever, right?
Uh-huh.
So we do property tax mitigation, property tax review. So all that rounds of what consulting mean, right? Okay, let me go back. We belong to so many chambers of commerce. Let's go back. Any questions so far?
No, I'm good.
So how do we get the customers to the different product offering, right? It's straight from what they call a discovery call. We don't know. We have like a one-on-one discovery call. They usually go into my company website and book an appointment, right? And they will book an appointment, Zoom or go to meeting, etc. Right? They'll
Uh-huh.
upload data for us, right?
Yeah.
Book a Zoom meeting. We'll pick a time. And they go to my calendar and then we got it booked, you know. And then they would give me an idea of who I'm meeting with, what is the subject area that they want to meeting purpose, because I have to start from somewhere, right?
Yes.
So it could be one of these major purpose. Most of them is not, but it's a point to start. What they know that they're calling me for. You got to know, because if you don't know anything, then you don't need me, right? You have to have some pain, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm. So what we're gonna talk more about the nature of our next couple session is gonna be mostly on logistics. Okay, we're gonna go
Yes.
tile at a time. Okay,
Yes, sir.
where logistics is transportation logistics exchange is an independent agency providing multi-mode global transportation and logistics service via air, sea, rail, land. So we service customers who need to get their product anywhere around the world into any market, right? Whether they want to use an airplane, air, they want to use sea, water, or rail, or train, or land. This is truck and transportation. Pretty much, we are supply chain and global domestic transportation are our strength. This is where our strength is. This is where I'm very an expert on is in the transportation domestically and arranging the movement of freight across the globe. Okay,
Yeah.
we utilize the different kinds of companies. We have access to that give you have access to trucks, these kind of trucks. We have the access to ships, right? And we have the access to airlines. Okay,
Yes.
so we have access to more than 50,000 power units and 19,000 trailers at our disposal. If somebody needs something to pick up in the port of New York right now, it's over phone call. Okay, we have access to that. Exchange is strategically positioned to serve the most demanding customers throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico, providing wealth of solution unique. Well, we have all the resources within these Canada, United States, and Mexico. But let's just say I got some project going on in Thailand right now. This is part of logistics, but it does not base on products. Okay,
Yes.
this is both based on money movement. Okay, so one thing is when you get the chance, this is the different transportation models we provide: air, ocean freight, border crossing, customs brokerage. Which when they go into the different government go to customs, we provide that service, right? To clear custom, etc. We
Okay.
expedite. So let's say expedited supply. Somebody needs something tomorrow. We have to get this extra. Let's say you're doing in healthcare. Somebody they want to get an organ from the United States to Dominican Republic, right? And it's
Uh-huh.
very time sensitive because it's
Uh-huh.
very strategically time sensitive. We have to get that to our expedited service where you can get there in time tomorrow within the next flight. Okay.
Okay.
We do project cargo, rail, blah blah blah.
What's
So
rail intermodal?
rail intermodal is the train. You have a train. It's a train that carries products and services. There's train that
Oh,
carry people.
okay, okay, okay.
It's a train that the train go to do it can carry concrete. It can carry ceramic tile. They can carry
Nice.
meat. They can carry animals. Right, intermodal. Intermodal is like more than one mode. Sometimes they have to get into a truck into the rail. Right.
Yes.
In truckload or less than truckload. Some customer may have just a pallet to ship. That's less than truckload. And some customers may have a full truck they need, right? So we
Yes.
take care, we do consolidation as well, okay? And we provide warehousing. Sometimes customers don't may not need our trucking, so they might just need in warehouse. We have all the major warehouse in the US, we have a license to use, okay? Which we just pay for the space on usage. Software as service, we have different software service providing. I'm an SAP partner. Like I told you, I'm an AWS partner in project management software, right? We got supply chain, blockchain engineers, and outsourced logistics, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to focus more in the logistics. And I think learning the logistics stuff of things will give you an idea of everything that we talked about here, okay?
Okay.
So I think this is the core training. So now, why I asked you for
Logistic and transportation.
yeah, logistics and transportation. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As you know, we are supply chain solutions, but logistics and transportation is 80% of what supply chain solution is, right? Okay, definition of supply chain. I'm gonna give you the definition of supply chain. So supply chain. You there ready for another definition? You don't have to memorize the meaning. I just want to bring it to the conversation, okay? That way it
Yeah.
lands for you, okay?
Yes.
So supply chain is a complex logistics, you see the word logistic, right? System
Yes.
that consists of facilities that convert raw material into finished product and distribute them to the end customer or end consumer. So basically, you what you have on now, you have a shirt or a gown.
A shirt.
Okay. Can you get on camera? I'm just gonna do an exercise for you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you got this black shirt, right? There's
Yeah.
it's pretty nice. Basically, if you look at it, you might be wearing multiple companies. You have the brand, the label,
Okay.
you have the designing of it, that U neck, right?
Hmm.
And then you have the packaging of it, and then you got the retail store where you bought it from, and then it's at your hand, and then you paid for it. That's what supply chain is. It's a network of activities such that you, the customer, are happy. You enjoy that shirt. It looks good on you, by the way, right?
Thank
So, so that's the process of supply chain. Supply chain means that the conversion, because that shirt on you was once for just cloth. It was once upon just cloth. In Korea, they would call it
Toile.
toile. Yeah, it was just toile, flat toile, toile, that's
Hmm.
called toile. And then
Hmm.
there's the person with the machine qui gon qui font gon engineer qui fait design ça on labeler qui dit wap on get on brand clothes, a clothing line, right? Et puis
Yeah.
générer, etc. So tout le monde ça together fait supply chain. Parce que c'est toile jusqu'à ce que toile, commencement de toile jusqu'à ce que sous, qu'elle content, et tu vas virer dans le miroir, tu dis, wow, one, this is the supply chain. Wow. That means when you're happy with it, you're satisfied. The objective is to convert that toile into your satisfaction.
Exactly.
And that's what we do. We build a network of suppliers,
Yeah.
meaning that we try to
So
get the
they
best of
just
the best.
ended us
You
like the
got the
lemon, and then we make lemonades.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Lemon into lemonade. So as you can see, it says it's a complex logistics. Remember I told you logistics? We do all the things logistically. Logistics is part of planning, right? We planning and coordinate means logistics, right? So supply chain is a complex logistics system that consists of facilities. Facilities is an act of facilitation, it's activities, action, right? Facilities, there's more people involved, right? To facilitate, right? And that convert the conversion of raw material. Remember, we're talking about the toile,
Hmm.
converts the toile, the raw material, into finished goods, which is that shirt right now, right? And distribute them to the end people who distribute it into you so that you can receive it. And at the end, you pay for the service and it goes back to the manufacturer. So
Yeah.
in this definition, it didn't never make it complete. There was always a gap into that. I never was comfortable with that definition of supply chain, right? Because there was only also missing it to the end consumer. So once the end consumer gets the product, they have to pay before they get the product. They have to make a request,
Yeah.
right? So you don't know what to ship unless you have a request. It's called upstream and downstream, right? So let's look at this chart here. If I'm going too fast, let me know too, okay? Because I don't want to
No, no.
overwhelm you. See, chart for you. You see this image, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the supply chain, remember, we're strategic consultant, but your focus is going to be inside supply chain because you can rebrand it and then build your destiny where you at right now because there's a need for supply chain where you at as well, okay?
Hmm.
So it's a plan, source, make, deliver, and buy, right? These are the core activities in the network. We help the planning, we help the sourcing, we help the delivery, and we help in the purchasing, right?
Yeah.
So if you see an example, a supplier, it's called supply chain. Supplier, supply, manufacturer makes, right? And then you got consumer buys, and then we have warehouse distribution, right? If you see when I was showing you the intro earlier, I talked to you about we have access to warehousing all across the US, right?
Yeah.
You name whatever you want to put in warehouse, whatever we can construct, we can build warehouse off the fly, right? So you see warehousing is needed, right? And you got manufacturers is manufacturing shippers. Manufacturers are shippers. We saw shipper connect, right? Hello, cutie. Hello. Hi. Wow. Hello. Hello. She looks Spanish.
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing,
Morning.
Didi?
She said morning.
Good morning. Yes. So you see supplier, manufacturer, warehouse, and customer. These are four pillars, right? Supply, manufacturer, warehousing. We keep this moving. This supply chain. What we do is we make sure everything in sits here processes with integrity. We're like the coach, a project manager to make sure you have the supplier. Well, let's just say I give you the example of the shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
The supplier is supplying toile et coton, fil, etc., right? And then gon moun kap source, kap chache ki moun kap ven pi bon pri toile et coton, which is a sourcing. Where can you buy this shirt at a cheaper cost in toile so that they can produce it? Okay, that way it's profitable, right?
Yes.
And then you got make manufacturer. We have them to put it together. They get warehouse again, conveyor belt. We have them put it together and deliver. We get them into trucks so that they can deliver to the warehouse distribution, right? Such
Mm-hmm.
that it goes to the name of a store you like to go buy from. Name a store you like to go shopping from. You go shopping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just name a store for the sake of discussion.
Let's say Bershka.
What's the best shop?
Bershka.
Best shop. Okay, best shop. Let's say best shop. What do they sell in best shop?
Clothes,
Okay,
shoes,
yeah. Okay, let's
accessories.
just say you're going to a party.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm getting thirsty. Can you give me about 2 minutes? I'm gonna run to get me some water.
Yes.
It's gonna get exciting, okay? I'm gonna
Okay.
give you music too.
Okay.
Okay. Back. Okay. Whew, I'm having some. I see.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
wow. Enjoy.
Oh, so it's getting hot here. So back to what we were saying. Any questions so far?
No, so far I'm good.
Yeah. So with our diagram here, you see we have materials and goods from manufacturer gets converted, it goes to a warehouse, and they make it, and it goes to a distribution, and then it gets to the consumer. Um, where we come in, like when we go to like every point you see in this chart is a potential customer of ours. Okay, we have
Mhm.
everyone is a customer inside of this network. Your question is, what is a network, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go to the computer terminology of a network, right? We're gonna go to the computer terminology. I'm gonna convert it to a supply chain conversation, right? So you can see that I just pulled a definition of network, right?
Okay. It's a group or
It's an
system of interconnected
arrangement
people
of
or things.
intersecting horizontal and vertical lines, web, cross grid, lattice net, matrix, mesh. These are all words. A group of system of interconnected people of things. I'm taking the word for interconnected, right?
Yes.
Groups of system interconnected system, right?
Yeah.
So like when you go into an office, there's a network. Let me see. Let me do a network diagram. But my background is IT anyway, so you're gonna get the best definition anywhere, right? So I'm gonna show you a network diagram. Yeah, let me just draw it for you. So I'm just gonna break down what the meaning of network for you, okay?
Yeah.
So let's call each circle is called entity. Entity meaning independent, right? It's got
Yeah.
its own function, right?
Yes.
It could be people, it could be companies, it can be groups, it can be organization, it can be association, right? So that's an entity. But the entity, in order to connect to another entity, there have to be a connection, a line, right?
Yes.
So let me draw. It could be a one-way line, right? And then you got another entity. So this is a network, right? A network of circles. Why they network? Because they're connected. Like you got your chain, like your chain. You have jewelry, right? Chain, right? Each piece of gold, like I got a chain on, each piece is connected to each other by a link. You have a link here, right? That's what's a network, a chain. You see supply chain, the word supply chain, it's a network of organization for manufacturers and suppliers and etc. You get my point? So each of the links is called data points, right? Point of service points, right? So let's just say, let's just call this circle here manufacturer, right? Let's call this circle here supplier. Where's my text? Distributor.
Okay.
We got retailer.
Okay, let's say that the supplier is the person who give like the who produce the toile, right?
It is the person or the organization who makes the toile.
Okay, so the manufacturer is the person like who transform the toile.
Exactly, yes.
Okay,
And this
the
distributor is
distributor is the
the
person like okay,
stores the toile, stores the end product.
exactly, that put the toile on the market, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. And then we
The
have what this
consumer,
support.
the like the last person on the like
This is a retailer. This is the
retail.
retailer.
That what's that?
This is the store you go to, right?
Okay, okay.
And then you got the consumer here. I'm gonna make the consumer. Uh, I would love to make a hangman, but I make them just for consistent. Let's just say.
Okay. Okay. Let me take a screenshot of it.
Now, trust me, what you're learning here,
Networking,
once you
right?
get to the level of getting it done, I'm sorry, we call it consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it customer, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna create a link. So, side note, what you're learning here works in any given market. That means you could come to the US with the knowledge, it's usable. You go to anywhere around the world, it's usable.
It's
You're learning
usable.
things. Yeah, it's not like you're not gonna learn something and forget it. This you can build a career around it. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go back to network. You see how the network goes uh, from toile,
Mm-hmm.
shirt produit shirt, storage pour distribution,
Mm-hmm.
retail pour entrer dans store. Oh, belle, qui pretty, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
ching ching, dollar exchange, right?
Yeah.
And the dollar exchange goes up like this because it lot dépenser dollar tout monde touché. You get my point? Because there's a price here, there's a dollar cost here, and there's a dollar cost there. People's buying. Manufacturer buying from supplier. Distributor is either licensed or buying. There could be a licensed distributor. And then retail is buying at a price with a margin and they sell it to you, pay the taxes, and etc. So and then you pay the dollar, you give the dollar bill.
Okay.
So you get the idea, right?
Yes,
This
I
is
get
what
it.
they call a network. So
I
that's
get
what
the idea.
supply chain to make sure because everything you got end to end, right? End to end here. This is end to end supply chain, right? From
Yes.
supplier, we service. from supply all the way to cost consumer, end to end. That means we're doing business with the supply, we're doing with the manufacturer, the distributor, retailer, the consumer as well. Okay.
Okay.
Because, and the consumer wants their product right place, right time, right price, right? RRR, right? Right place, right time, right price. So the retailer wants the right price so that they can sell to the consumer with a profit. Then you got the distributor one enough, like distributor could be like, let's just say you have a distributor, let's say Amazon, for example, has a great supply chain network. They have distribution center all across the US. They have right now across the globe, right? People want something on Amazon, they have a distribution center that distribute to the marketplace. They call it just-in-time supply chain.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Gimana? Nah, magulo ba actually? Okay. Yeah, so end to end. So this is what we do. We make sure that the supplier produce the right amount of, because how do you know how much to have on stock? How does your store know how much toys to place on stock for that your daughter can have a Christmas gift? How
Exactly.
do they have enough? How do they have the right price, the right timing? This is what we do because
Okay.
we work with system at the retail level because they're the one distributing. They're really distribute to the customer because they got different retails and different space. How do we know that shirt that Natsu's gonna need that shirt on Wednesday for that party? It better be on stock when she comes for it so that she can make to a party looking cute. There's market research, right? I think you did that in your last job position in surveying and interacting with different consumers so that you can get the right thing to get the right product into the people's hand, right?
Mm.
So, like, let's go to food. I don't know how the fast food industry is in DR. They have to have
Oh, it's a
enough
lot.
beverage. Yeah, they have enough meat, enough beverage to serve the people so that they don't go to waste. And supply chain managers, they got to make sure that we minimize waste. The more you can calculate, be perfect at the calculation, you're minimizing waste. It's like cooking. You cooking something, you got salt, you got this. You don't want to waste the salt, you don't want to waste the sugar. You got to put just the fair enough so that you can have a
Exactly
serve.
the right amount of what you need and then
Yeah.
to make it
So
work.
if you're cooking a food, you know how to cook?
I'm a chef.
You're a chef. Oh, I forgot. I'm telling you, lasagna. You're gonna email me as lasagna.
I do.
So yes. So now here you got the pot, the amount of water you put in based on the amount of people you're gonna serve, right? The amount of weight,
Ingredient.
pound ingredients is bound the people you're gonna serve. So perfect way is cooking a pot of dili sospoa. You have to measure accordingly.
You
So
like
you
doing
got the
sauce, don't
pot,
you?
yeah, and they give binito. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. This is the best.
Look at that. I think I'm gonna have a plate of that soon. So, but you gotta know you're serving, who you're serving, the needs of the people, because not everybody gonna want milito, not everybody gonna want sauce, but not everybody gonna want rice, right? So you have to know
Mm.
your customer, right? So that you can manufacture the right meal for them. Because when you're cooking, you're manufacturing the food. But the sauce pois wash in the market, the pois you buy from the supermarket, the rice you buy from the supermarket become your supplier, right? The supplier, they got the relation of who's planted here, planted Juicote, they get it in bulk, right? So you
Okay.
get go buy the rice to manufacture that plate of food or that pot of food. You got the rice, you got the salt, you got the fish, the meat, the everything and everything. That way, the end consumer say, "Ooh." Then you say, "Bon appetit." This is what comes satisfaction. Once the customer is
Empathy.
satisfied, so the supply chain you don't wanna cook or you want to cook a salty food because you put too much salt, then everything goes to waste.
Exactly.
If you cook too much food for you got 5 people, you cook food for 10 people. It's gonna go to waste. It's a waste, right?
Yeah.
So the retailer wants profit, so they can't afford to waste. So we have to analyze the likelihood, study their market, the likelihood that their diaper is going to sell more fast, right?
Uh-huh.
We say, well, the women, there's the population is 5 million people. The ratio is two to women, 2 to 1, and the average rate age is XYZ. They're going to be having babies, etc. And then let's go market sample, right?
Uh-huh.
Because babies got to be born. There's got to be diapers in the store. What if they run out? What if they run out of water, right? How do they know there's how much water they do? We go thirsty, right?
Exactly.
That's what supply chain is. We're basically consulting. They are based on the data. We do a lot of data. I do a lot of data. Based on the data, it shows that you're going to be more profitable if you do this way or that way. Minimizes on waste because you're wasting too much. Or you have some distribution. Let's look at your network. Your network are too far apart. You're wasting on fuel because when a truck goes to the distribution center to bring to to the retailer, it takes 2-3 hours. Can we cut that down in 1 hour? Waste fuel. What does fuel have to do with the shirt? Well, they have to go pick it up to get to the store. It's still part of the supply chain, right?
Okay.
Or do you have a contract with a gas price going to go up? Do you have a contract with a to minimize the cost of gas price? Or let's lock it in at X dollars per gallon, and you lock it up for a certain amount of time, and reduce your cost. And when it comes to network deal with relationships. Network deals with relationship, right? So each line is a functional relationship between the one entity. What I'm calling entity is the circles, right?
Yeah.
There's a relationship. So, for example, you and I are talking, right?
Uh-huh.
We met through a network, and who was the relationship? The
It's
network, the
Lego?
bridge between you and I is who?
No, no, mommy.
Yeah, there you go. So she connected us together. Now look at we're in conversation, interacting, right?
Exactly.
So that's what a network is. You go through a network to build a relationship. There's a need, and then we do it from there. Okay.
Yes.
Any question? Is this boring?
No, no question. I, we had a third person here, but he left or she left.
Oh no, that was my note taker. I have a note taker, but I shut them down after an hour.
Oh, it's a person or it's just
No, it's an AI. It's AI taking notes.
whoa.
Yeah, I'm
How?
a geek. AI based on our interaction, AI would take notes. I'm a geek.
No, I saw not AI, but I thought like it was just a name, a surname or something or
I
something.
know something. No AI. Yeah. Let me see. She's no longer in the session. I can restart if I need, but the subscription I have is an hour. We went past an hour
This
anyway,
is
so
scary.
it's all right. So, huh?
This is scary actually.
That's it. That was zombie. I had a zombie in the thing. Zombie.
Whoa. That is
uh,
pretty interesting.
it's spooky,
I
right?
thought it was a
Yeah.
third person.
No, it was an AI.
I'm sorry.
It was a bot. It was a bot.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Is
I
it
program
safe
it
that we have
to
like the
tell
bots
me if you're
involved like
snoring.
that in our
AI
life?
can tell me if you were snoring or not, if your eyes was closed. AI can tell me if you're bored, if you're like can't stand the session, if I'm doing a good job or not. It can tell me your rating, your breathing.
That is scary.
Yeah. All right. So far you get the points of logistics
Yeah, so far I do.
and supply chain, how they connect. Because supply chain is really logistic, but with more management, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go into another area. Let's see the transcript here. So when we looked at the stuff to build a network, it has to be systematic. Remember when we were talking about the network, it says the word system, right?
Yeah.
So we're in a global market, and to interact globally, we have to deal with systems, right? Because
Yes.
you're in there's constraint, time strain, language is constraint is language, constraint is time frame, constraint is culture, right? So how do you do business in a global world? You have to make sure these three key factors are met, right?
Yes.
The time frame constraint, the language constraint, and the culture constraint, right? For example, India, if I go to India, I
Mm-hmm.
go to a customer, um, they tend to like the women don't shake hands with the men, right?
Why?
It's a culture, right? So I have to understand that culture to do the business because that's part of the network, right? If I'm doing a business, that's like let's just say if our manufacturer is in India, or we have relationship in India,
Yeah.
and then I got a executive from India who's a female. I have to adhere to their no discrimination, but I have to understand their culture as well. Because I don't want to just, hey, here's a handshake and shake their hand or squeeze their hand like a man, right? So language is where we get people language. So this is why I became what they call a SAP partner. SAP it's a system that's used globally, specifically a supply chain, because SAP is a system that allows you to do purchasing, sourcing of materials to manufacture into to build that shirt. I need 10,000 button. I need 100,000 button, and then the vendors are there, right? So
Yeah.
that makes me an SAP partner. But to be an SAP partner, you have to have the certification, right? For them to
Yeah.
take you as a partner. So I am certified, and then their first they got a system called SAP S4HANA. I'm certified that as administrator. Okay. So when we build a supply chain, we can build the network for them, right? Which is something that is like there's no competition in there because we know how to build a network from suppliers in that line, the entity line, the functions, we can build around it. Any questions?
Okay.
Did you
No,
freeze or
any
you still there?
questions so far? I had
Okay.
some groceries coming, so I had to get.
We have
Can you
groceries
hear me?
coming. Do you wanna stop here if you are getting busy?
Oh no, I just had some groceries coming, so I had to get
Okay.
down because usually they
Okay. You
don't want to come up.
okay? You got it already?
Yes, I got them already.
Okay. Good. All right. Let me try piece of pie. Okay. Right. So within we covered sub logistics and transportation. We covered supply chain. Let's go to the. We're going into the systems. Okay. One of our main partners is called Landstar. Okay. So
Okay.
what does Landstar does? They're like my hub for all the trucks that I need. Right. No matter I have access to over 750,000 trucks US wide, right? And
Yeah.
if I need more on a globe, I can get it, right? So that's the hub for it. So we book trucks to here. If I have a customer say, "Oh, I got a container of X to deliver to you from New Jersey to Houston, Texas. I can go in there and book my truck on there. Okay.
This is your
So if you can,
website or
I'm sorry.
this is something else?
Yeah, this is still in logistics. We are in the systems.
Is this your website still?
Yeah, this is past the website. We are in our back office stuff, right? This is the area you're gonna hang in a lot. We'll have separate training on each system. I'm just giving you the overview now, okay?
Okay.
This is what TMS stands for transportation management. If I have a customer that's seeking logistics, we're gonna book a truck to pick product from their warehouse. You could come here and book it, okay?
Okay. They always sending me the wrong stuff.
Okay. What did you get wrong? You ordered
The
what?
rice. I
All right.
ordered some uh watermelon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect situation, right? Could you imagine
I
how you
ordered
feel to get
some toilet paper, some
Yeah.
carrots in English.
So you
Shumu.
made an order and you got the wrong stuff, right?
I had the wrong stuff.
So they have a bad supply chain. That's an example of a supply chain, right? Customer orders something and they get something.
Exactly.
We're in the same conversation because you made a request and what you requested and it makes me you're not satisfied, right? And you're gonna
At
spend your
all.
money to tax them. Yeah. So you get an idea, just the feeling that you got. And the whoever you ordered from for them to do better, they have to understand that as well. Okay.
Okay. This is a nightmare. Every time that you
Mm.
order something, it's always the same. But I can't go out because the
Okay.
immigration thingy.
Oh yeah.
So no, it's not okay.
Wow. Not good.
When you order like meat, it's always bad. It's always blue. And at some point, when you keep reporting them, they won't like they won't listen to you anymore. They won't give you back your money.
Yeah. Oh boy. No good.
But you can't no because yeah. Anyways, things like that happen.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of supply chain issue. What do you call it? Supply chain concern. Customer orders something and they don't get what they ordered, right? Which goes
Yeah.
back to the retail store. If the retail store don't do their job, they lose customer. The idea is not losing customer. You profit is in new customers.
Yes, it's getting more customer. And if possible, new ones too.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the next conversation we'll be having is on side of this system, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna teach you each of the tabs. I'm gonna create a username for you. I'm gonna need you to
Okay.
send me your email address so that I can create a username for you, okay? You'll be
Okay.
able to log in. And there may be other trainings that you have to supplement, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I think this sum up our conversation unless you have any more questions or further to tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
So for now, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time. We'll talk tomorrow at
Yes.
8 p.m. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk tomorrow.
Goodbye. I got it. You gonna go
Can
you
you hear
create
me?
your
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna go create your username, okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.